Alright, so I'm back again. Part 2 of turbocharging the E46. Seats on the lift already. So what we're going to finish on the car: oil pan, oil feed for the turbo, drain off, blow off valve. I did the blow off valve. I got it back this morning, so I already installed that. So right now I'm just going to drop the subframe and the rack and pinion to get to the oil pan, and then I'm going to install the oil pan, and then we try to make some boost on the car. Still waiting on one thing, the V-band flange for the turbo exhaust side. So that's the next thing I got to order, and then I install that, and then start making the dome pipe for it. Hopefully I can find it, because I try to contact the person who bought the turbo from like a couple days ago, and they don't respond back to me as yet. But anyway, we're gonna install the oil pan and then drop the turbo on it and do the rest of the stuff. It's like 90 something degrees inside the shop too. It's really hot, so I'm sweating. It's really hot. I got the fan turned on, but that's not doing nothing. It's too hot. All right, let's raise the car up and start pulling things apart. All right, so this is the oil pan that got welded. So the guy welded from the inside. As it said on the outside was too close, so it ended up welding to the inside. But to me, this thing is good as long as it's not moving or break off. It's all good. So I'm taking the line off the turbo silica, and we're going to use it on BMW. We're going to replace that one soon for the silica. We're going to get back one for the silica, which I got something I can screw that. But this is how it look. So first step, I got to remove 4 bolts. There, and that side. After I remove it, then I got to drop the frame. Got to remove the bolt for the rack and pinion so I can push that out the way. I don't think I got to take off the tire or anything like that, the wheel, but it's all about getting this 2 bolts for here, both side, lower the frame. Got to what I'm gonna do is put a stand on the front of here, so keep it up, the engine don't come down. And then what else I need to do? I need to loosen the bolt for the engine mounts. What else? Yeah, this thing don't look hard enough, so just probably an hour job, or hour and a half. But ever since I got this car, I did like 1 oil change on it. It's leaking really, not really bad, but it's leaking right there from this. So first oil change I did, I realized this thing was damaged. So when I put it back, the bolt, I just never pulled it back again, and I got the car for 2 years. So now, to get this crappy ass oil pan off, and then install a new one. So damn, that shit is big. That thing is huge. Alright, so let's get to it. Alright, so I tore down the frame. I just let it hang right there. Rack and pinion is hanging a little bit safely out the way, and then we got the oil pan just to remove all the bolts, and then 10 bolts all the way around. and this is easy enough to remove. I had to remove that, as I told you, the motor mount there, and 4 bolts, 2 bolts for the frame right there, and that for that side, and it just come right out. So now pull all the bolts for the oil pan, and then I safely take it out. To look at this thing, I might have to remove the power steering pump because it's so close. Can't get to fitting on the back there. I see though, I try to remove the bracket if it can come off. If not, remove it. But look, progress going on. No biggie. All right, so I got an oil pan out. That's a new one with a gasket. Gasket a little bit bent, but that's not a problem. As soon as I clamp it together, it will definitely come back flat as I want it. But everything is all in, and some of the stuff I had to remove. I had to move the pump. I just loosened the pump and move it, so I can get two of the bolts, and then the pan. It was difficult to come out with the power steering pump in the way. I removed the sway bar. We'll remove it from there. I dropped the frame a little lower, the rack and pinion, which is not going to damage nothing. Yeah, that's all I had to remove. So right now I'm going up back with the oil pan and put it together, and then I can start marking up the rest for the turbo. Alright, so I finished the oil pan, as you see. It wasn't that difficult. It was kinda, not a lot. But let me spin this thing around, and y'all can see. So as you see, the new oil pan is on the car, and I use this 10 and fitting 90 degrees all the way up to the turbo. I installed the turbo as well. This thing was the breather. It was my breather hose for the my catch can for my Celica, turbo Celica, and I'm changing the line to some Mishimoto, so I just use this one on this. So as you can see, everything is back up. So when I was doing it, you see my bumper is off, so when I was doing this thing, it's all apart, and I was trying to put it back together. So my bumper is loose, and by pushing the wheel back and forth, the bumper fell off, and it scratched a little bit. That happened. Everything along here got scratched. This thing broke off. But no big deal, I ain't sweating it. But everything else on the car is up. As you can see, the turbo, 72mm. Alright, so next up, I need to run the line for the oil. And I see, do some research, and I see a lot of people running from the oil switch. The oil switch is right there. Oil switch is right there. So I'm gonna run it from that oil switch right there, but I get the fitting for tomorrow. yeah, I'm gonna get the fitting for tomorrow, and then I run the line, run the oil for it, as you can see right there. So I'm just gonna finish that thing tomorrow and have it done, and then slap the bumper back on. But so far this thing look good. I don't know, for some reason the car have a brighter color and camera. It's way a lot duller in person, but anyway, looking good. But tomorrow I come figure out what I'm gonna do. Let me bring the lift down and I'll show you turbo being installed. Alright, as you can see, the turbo is mounted up, not moving. Next thing I need to do is cut the hood, some part up there, try to get it. But so next thing up, I gotta do this, the ABS wire. So it was mounted right there, and I don't want to run the line too close to the turbo. I'm gonna get a turbo blanket as well, but I don't know, I might drill a hole inside there, just run the line somewhere down there maybe. I just put it back once I get the turbo blanket. Won't burn it. I just said I gotta run this line for the oil, and that's the last thing I gotta do. I gotta fix it properly right here, mount it professional. Probably send it between there, so it all depends. Kinda add it out the way. But yeah, so far getting parts in need and everything bolting up properly. As for these things, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them as yet. These for the O2 sensor are for them. I'm gonna run a wideband, so I'm no longer needing these things, so I don't know. As for the blow-off valve, no, I got the, as I said, I'm gonna mount the blow-off valve. It's right there. Let's see. So I don't know. I need vacuum for the blow-off valve. I want to check if this is a vacuum. I gotta double check that's where it's running to. If it's running to something vacuum, I just use a vacuum off that. If not, I try to find somewhere where a vacuum at and I use it. Because definitely need vacuum for that thing. So as you can see, the wastegate bolt up, and this line that I got and the fitting is from a Celica. Let me see, I got a Celica turbo right here, so I rubber stuff them from it, put it onto this. So next step, what I got to do is I got to remove the bracket for the intercooler. I got to sand it down and paint it. So all of that I'm going to be doing tomorrow, because I don't want that thing to stay and rust real bad, look crappy. So that's for some other day. Alright, so day 2, and the oil pan, tightening down the turbo and all of that, I'll show you yesterday. So today what I'm working on is to get the oil feed running, so oil can go to the turbo and we'll fire this thing up. It's no problem. I went ahead and put oil in there yesterday just to make sure we're safe. Got the oil filter out, about to install that. So putting this thing on, a lot of people use right here with a banjo bolt fit it, and then some people use down here where this thing run all the way down to the block. I should say to the oil filter housing, and that's where I get oil from, down inside there. It's right next to the this sensor. It's an oil pressure sensor. So I remove the oil pressure sensor first, and then I pull the banjo bolt. So I know if I search to find a bunch of bolts with a fitting. This one, I know I probably won't find one, so this is what I go ahead and did. I see a lot of people, well, I saw one guy who mentioned it and he did it on his E36 for over right in the center, and then get my dashboard fitting. So this thing gonna attach the ear, which is way easier than to try to search around for one of these with a hole in the top. So next step is to put some silicone or some probably Loctite seal around this thing, stuck it back in there so it don't leak, and then put this back together, and then we can fire this thing up. Well, before I do that, I'm going to remove this line after I put this fitting on to save oil coming through here, just to make sure it's working and it don't kill the turbo. So I'm going to go ahead and just put all of that together with these and then install it. Alright, so first start off with all the turbo parts on the car.